That's good. That's good. So sorry about that. So as I was saying, you can actually feel like you're losing control with your emotions, which means it's as good as losing control with your life. And nobody seems to understand around you because especially your family, because they're expecting you to behave exactly the same way you've been behaving for the last 20 years. And most of the men come to me and say, my family thinks I'm going mad. Exactly, that's how you feel when you're going through menopause. I'm not saying everybody goes through this, but quite a few actually can go through this. That's a very disturbing symptom. Then comes the other symptoms like overall, you don't feel like you have the same enthusiasm in life that you had before. I'm not myself. I never used to find it difficult to handle things and all. Now I'm finding it difficult. So I don't feel like I'm myself. That is something else. The enthusiasm and the wanting to do things, that actually kind of comes down as well. The other things like skin problems, you can start feeling that your skin is becoming more dry. It's losing tone, more wrinkles. And the last thing that most of the people experience but may not actually come out and discuss it is that the vaginal dryness. Like skin, vagina has got skin mucosa, like the rest of the skin, that also dries. So the vaginal dryness can give rise to a lot of irritation, burning, problems with passing urine. They get a lot of recurrent urine infections and they always feel that something is burning down there. And also difficulty with sexual intercourse. And the other thing is the decrease in the libido. Decrease in the libido is a complex thing, which is not just to do with the menopause, but the situations and the events surrounding the menopause, lack of sleep, hot flushes, you're not yourself. So eventually that takes a toll on the libido as well. So these are some of the common symptoms women go through. And like earlier Vasu was saying, each one has their own experience. So there are people who go through with it like nobody's business. They are feeling absolutely normal. And there are people who go through with it like it's almost like they've had a tsunami in their lives. So you can range from anywhere. Okay. So which is your own individual experience.
Thank you, Dr. Usha. That was a very, very detailed explanation. I think you covered the entire paradigm of symptoms that can happen.
Hopefully, cut me short if I am actually going on too much.
No, these are all very.
Sorry, I am intervening again. Devi, can you please accept everybody who is waiting?
I did. That's how Zoom allows me, sister. I did actually. There's a glitch.
Yeah, okay.
No, wait, it is like no. I did.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I'm so sorry that I'm interrupting. Everybody is sending messages
to you. I can understand that interruption is very important. Otherwise, they're going to miss all this wonderful insights. See, like you covered from talking about the hot flushes. One important information, ladies out here, sometimes really your husband switches off the AC or the fan and it is not hot flush. That's not the fun part, but there are hot flushes. There are going to be some dryness. Like
can I just say something, Devi, there? So next time your husband switches off the AC and he thinks it is not hot and you're having a hot flush, come and get a medical certificate from me to show it to him that you have the right to put the AC on.
AC on. I feel hot. I require that AC, and Dr. Usha gives me the certificate. That's wonderful. And yes, see, and I'm wondering, like, I'm thoroughly enlightened on the information you just shared in the 2 minutes, like starting from what can happen before to the extent that the vaginal dryness that I wouldn't go and discuss with doctor at all. Like, being in whatever it is, like I wouldn't even know that I should discuss this. I would think, yeah, it's just thing. So thank you for enlightening us. Now I would like to know about, like, is there anything specific to pre-menopause, like, and during, and then something post-menopause? So you did cover a large variety of symptoms that we can have. Can we identify we are in pre or during or post? Is it any way possible, doctor?
No, post-menopause, menopause and post-menopause is easy to identify. You stop having your periods for 6 months, you don't have a period in that age group, you've attained menopause. So which is very self-evident. And post-menopause is when Postmenopause is the rest of your life is postmenopause. But the symptoms some of the symptoms actually get better. That's the good news in the postmenopause. Some of the symptoms eventually get better. Like hot flushes are not there forever with you. They will get better. And some of the other symptoms as well, the mood swings will get better. Whether the feeling of sadness and lack of enthusiasm, that might not get better. But the variation of the mood, where one day you're happy, one day you're irritable, one day you're angry, that part will eventually kind of stabilize into some kind of a mood or the other. So vaginal dryness, no, it's not going to change. The postmenopause, it's going to be the same. Skin dryness, that's going to be the same. So mood swings will change. Hot flushes will eventually stop, completely stop. They will go away. So coming to the premenopause. Now premenopause, yes, you're still having your periods and you're getting any of these symptoms. That is your premenopause.
Okay.
Now I want to quote Oprah Winfrey here. I was watching one of her interviews, and she talks about women's problems, and she's talking about the premenstrual symptoms. The women who are having regular periods, who are not menopausal, are getting this premenstrual period symptoms in the second half of their period cycle, where you are kind of not yourself, and you're getting mood swings and feeling bloated and all those things. And she says that I was having this premenstrual symptoms, which were already bothering me. And then as I'm approaching 40 plus, and I'm getting this perimenopausal symptom coming from this side, and the premenstrual coming from this side. And there was a time in my life where in a month, I had only 1 hour of sane period in my life, in that month. And people used to stand in the queue to ask me whatever they wanted to in that 1 hour. And usually by the time the husband reached the front of the queue, that 1 hour would be over. So your premenstrual symptoms can be actually very similar to the perimenopausal symptoms or premenopausal symptoms, and they can overlap. So the premenstrual symptoms tend to get worse after the age of 30, and then gradually they can kind of merge with the perimenopausal symptoms. So
okay. Yes, thank you about that question. And so you clarified to us that the symptoms can be like overlapping, and here and the postmenopausal is there for good. And I have a myth in my head, like because I'm not sure, maybe you can clarify whether that's a myth or a real question. I got this question because of your answer actually. I'm given the impression that we are healthier than men because we have these periods, and after we have the menopause, are we getting reduced in our is the health quotient getting reduced because our periods stop?
It's not a myth in your mind. You actually are very near to the truth.
Okay.
Yes, we women are protected against heart attacks comparatively as compared to the men, because we have the estrogen. That's probably the only advantage we have as women. Rest of it is all on the men's side. So because of their testosterone, they are more prone to heart attacks. And as women with the estrogen, we are less prone to heart attacks. So we call the estrogen has a cardioprotective effect on us. So we lose the cardioprotective effect after the menopause. So that is why the heart attacks are more commoner. I wouldn't say more commoner. Younger men getting heart attacks is more heard of rather than younger women getting heart attacks. So older women, we kind of almost become equal to the risk of the men in terms of heart attacks. So that is the cardioprotective effect. And yes, losing the hormones also makes you more prone for it has metabolic effects. So it makes you more prone for gaining weight, and gaining weight is linked to the sugar levels and your lipid levels, so cholesterol levels. So those all can also start getting worse after menopause. So you're not even assuming anything. It's not a myth.
Thank you, doctor. So the people out there, I'm hoping that you are getting the feel of. See, I had this question for a very long time, and I'm directly talking to a gynec. Thank you, Hold, for bringing all this possible. Thank you, doctor, for bringing this possible. All your questions, please put it in the chat box as we talk to the doctor. You can also directly. You may have some.
Already have quite a few questions. So okay. Whenever you are ready to take, you can look into the chat. Anjali probably would, identify the person who has put the question, we can call out the name and they can ask if
Sure.
they wish to. Otherwise, we can read it out.
Sure,
Okay?
Vasu. And
Thank
we also another information, we have the social media handles: Hold Forum for Women, Instagram, LinkedIn, and in YouTube will be having on Facebook. Please do follow us to get information about such wonderful sessions like the one we are having right now. I have I think maybe I'm getting near the time. We'll switching to Q&A from the audience soon. I have a couple of last questions. This is one among them. Is uh, you have seen many women having this menopause and approaching you. What are the common challenges they face? Like the mood swings and the symptoms. Yes, they feel left out, or they don't identify themselves with them anymore, and they also have the guilt. These are the common challenges, or you would like to add some more, Dr. Usha?
No, the commonest challenge that I find is that women are going through is that the people around them fail to understand that they're going through a change. And reason being, menopause is somehow labeled as something that everybody goes through it. So what's so big about it? And also previously with our moms and grandmoms and all, it was not a thing to be mentioned. It was not a thing to be made big about. Menopause, fine. I mean, nobody knew when the woman had a menopause in their family. But now, since we are aware of it and we are more into voicing out how we feel and kind of thing. So when we actually voice out feeling that I am not feeling the same, people in and around you, the friends and family, fail to understand what you're going through. And when I say people in and around, if husband is the person whom you're actually looking towards to understand this, and somehow he fails to because he doesn't even know what exactly that is, the hormonal changes. Men do undergo menopause, but that's slightly different. And so that is the biggest thing, because children most of the time at this stage in life would have either left home. And if you have a husband and two male kids like me, God save you, because nobody understands you at home. And I went through menopause, and I used to be like a mad person in between until I took control and got it sorted out. And when it was I started behaving normally, my sons asked me, "You finished your menopause now?" You're a little normal now, Mama. Have you finished your menopause? So it's all for them. It is like, she's going through some nonsense, and let her go through it, and she'll come back to us being normal. So if you're looking for help and support from your husband, don't look there. It's the wrong place you're looking, because he's not going to help you, because he's not going to understand. And I'm not trying to blame him, because he's a man and he's not going through the same change. So look for women who are going through similar changes. They will be the biggest support, who will make you feel like you're normal, that you're not the only person. And this is one of the things my patients tell me. I feel like a completely abnormal person. I said, you're not the only one. There are a lot of them going around through this. Speak to the people who are going through it. They will know exactly what you're going through. So that's the biggest challenge, people not understanding you. Two, people at workplace not understanding that you are no more the same person, that you were doing like 10 jobs at a time, and suddenly you started kind of getting a little flustered with the jobs, and they expect you, what happened to you? I mean, kind of a thing. So workplace acceptance actually can be a big thing. And the third thing is, again, most of the time people find this is a stage when children have left, and so you kind of feel a little lonely, alone. And unless you talk to other women, you're going to go through this phase alone. Speaking to people will not lessen your experience, but it helps you, it supports you, it gives you the power to actually go through it. So that's what I'm saying, to speak to women who are going through the same thing.
That's wonderful, and that's the purpose of Hold, to speak to fellow women who is undergoing this, and also have a forum to ask questions, get clarified, get expert inputs like what you're right now giving. And you rightly nailed it, saying like the only person who can understand you is the woman next to you, and you have to speak out. And it's very important to know that working women are going to have a problem in handling the jobs, and that creates an awareness. It's not that okay scaring, but it creates an awareness that be aware that your capabilities may change eventually, and you may come back normalcy, or something else will come in the way. Thank you for those questions, and I'll take one last question from whatever we have, and then we'll go to the audience question. I'll sum it up like, no, there are like this about this. Is having excess bleeding during periods normal during menopause? And can there be something done for that?
Now, this is a very, very important question, Devi, you have asked, because it is a myth that most of the women in their mind have, or most of the people have, that I'm anyway 45, 47, 50, and my periods are very heavy, regular, I'm bleeding irregularly. Oh, I'm probably going through menopause. Okay. Now, normal, natural menopause, this I want everybody to please really understand. Normal, natural menopause means less periods, less frequently. That's the only thing that's normal. So if your period, which was 5 days, has become 3 days, it is normal. If your period, which was monthly, now comes in every 3 months, it is normal. Anything which is more frequent, more bleeding, is not normal. So people who are having excessive bleeding, irregular bleeding, which is heavy, in between every 15 days or in between the periods, there might be nothing, I'm not trying to scare, there might be nothing wrong, but it needs to be investigated. So irregular, frequent periods, heavy periods, please see a doctor. It needs to be investigated.
Thank you, doctor. That's very important clarification that we provided. So we have a couple of questions, but let's take the question from the audience. Bhairavi, I think that's all for questions. Anyone would like to ask any further questions?
I think we'll keep it for the next session with Usha on medical intervention and also some part of orthopedic intervention if there is problems with bones and knee pains and all such things. So we can over to Anjali for.
Yeah. Thank you. It was really a very enriching session, and with immense pleasure and gratitude in my heart, I thank Dr. Usha for giving us her time and enhancing our understanding of this menopausal phase of women's life. We hope to learn from you more in the future. And I thank each one of you for attending this session and being a part of our learning. And we're looking forward to have more support from you. And also heartiest congratulations to our whole team for successfully organizing their first event. We will have many more, and as we can intend to create this awareness and knowledge in all women to go through different hormonal changes confidently. We will be posting all the information about our events on our social media page. We are there on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. You can follow us and get all the information. Thank you once again for joining in, and have a nice day. Hope to see you all again.
Just want to say one little thing. Of course, thank you so much, Usha. Thank you, my teammates.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
And I have got, my mobile is buzzing because they all loved it. I mean,
thank you.
They are like, we got so much information, and this is something, actually, it's sad. It's a taboo kind of a topic. I don't know. You don't want to come out and say about it, like, I don't know why it is like that.
You feel like you are a lesser person if you said that you are not coping with menopause. That is the perception, that you feel like you are a lesser person. So that needs to be taken out. It is, you're human. If you're going through menopause and you feel like crap, you're human.
One is lesser person. Other is, when I say I'm menopausal, I'm just telling everybody that I'm getting old. I don't know. It's. I know that's not true, but that's
the other thing, that people think that, oh, menopausal, she's an old lady type.
Yes, correct. Even when I told my kids, menopausal, Mama, are you that old? I'm like, okay.
I know.
Yeah. So this was really good, like eye opener, and I think now the cat is out of the bag kind of thing, So now we freely talk about it.
Yeah.
And ask whatever we want to ask here, Nobody's going to judge us here, because we all are in the same boat. Sooner or later.
Sooner or later, yes. I put it up on my social media saying that You can avoid men, but not menopause. So we are all going to be there one day with lesser or more symptoms.
Yes. It's all up to us how we handle them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So next few minutes, we are still going to keep the Zoom open just for an informal chit chat.